Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, dudes and dudettes. It is going to be our Week 8 NFL Pick'em, and actually Week 9, Week 9, Week 8 we missed because, well, what can I say? We work, we have kids, sometimes just real life happens, and we have to deal with what we got. So I actually just wanted to take an extra week to celebrate my inaugural first of many wins, 9-3, and Week 7, and somebody sucked at 7-5, not me. But hey, I've realized something. We have a really special thing here. I'm Cleveland, you're Philly, and we just don't talk about anything in between. So how about that? So how you doing, man? How's it feel? How's that bitter taste of defeat, losing to an Ohio guy taste?
It's not good. Some of those games that the Bengals Ravens game, that was a big one. I can't believe that the Ravens just got shellacked in their own house.
Yeah.
But it's first week. There's plenty of time to come back, right? Don't be a fair weather gambler, right? You know that it's ebbs and flows, right? I'll go undefeated next week. I'll hit a 16-team parlay.
Or you just lose so bad that you shave your beard because of it.
I just got tired of it. It was getting too long. I had to get rid of it.
Yeah, I would have shaved it off too after 7-5 when there's a lot of layups.
Yeah, 7-5, plenty of weeks before, and then turned around and gone 10-1.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I ended it on a 6 game winning streak on that one there, and I have signs falling off in the background, so I try to interchange it out. So no, there's no spirits here. I'm just fat and I shake the couch around people. So, all right, Week 9, like I said, we actually had another week. It's Monday. There's currently Monday Night Football going on. So these picks are based as the rosters currently sit on Monday. We have a trade deadline coming up this week. We've already seen Von Miller get moved to the Rams. Massive. Rams are going all in, but I think they made that very clear when they went for Matt Stafford and gave up the compensation they did for him.
Yeah, and Derrick Henry's on IR now, and the Titans just signed Adrian Peterson. Does he have any gas left in the tank?
Yes.
Find out.
He's a freak of nature.
He's a 30-year-old freak of nature.
What is he like? Is he like almost 40 now?
He's got to be like 32 or 33. You'd be surprised some of these football players.
I think he would have got drafted by Romeo Crennel of the Browns. Like, we passed on him.
36. 30. When you Google it, it's like the second thing that comes up with Adrian Peterson age.
Yeah, that's so things are going to change. So don't laugh at our picks if something like really crazy happens. We don't know what injuries or how this is all going to shake out. But no, we have, I said, I'm up 9-3 on the year. I'm not planning on letting that lead up, but let's dive right into it, man. Thursday night football. We got the Jets, who had a quarterback come out of nowhere and throw over 400 yards in his first career start. Now there's some game film on him, but the Colts just put up that big fight against Tennessee. I'm going to go with the Colts at home here, but don't be surprised, folks, if the Jets get that third win of the year. This quarterback looked pretty freaking good against the Bengals and much improved defense on Sunday.
No, they blew their load on that one. They has everything that they had. That was their Super Bowl to win that one. But look at the Jets with 2 wins already in this season, 7 games into it. That's crazy. Yeah. But I think the Colts are one of the most underrated teams in the league. Every single one of their games, especially that Titans game last week, if you look at their games, they all come down to the wire. The Colts, I think, are one of the most underrated teams. And I think the Colts win this for sure.
I tell you what, Carson Wentz, I felt bad for him because he's always like that one late interception away. But yeah, like I thought it was going to be his coming out party with the Colts, like kind of changed the tide for the season. But what a great game to have on a short week, then home against the New York Jets. I'm going to go with the Indy. You're with Indy. So then we're going to move on to Sunday. First game, AFC North showdown. You already know my answer on this, but I'm scared to death of it. Browns coming off an embarrassing loss to the home against the Steelers, and Bengals coming off an embarrassing loss to the Jets. Something's got to give here. I'm going to go with the Browns because do I have a choice?
You kind of have to, which is a terrible decision because the Bengals coming off of that Jets loss, there's no way they're losing this game.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow, real deal, and even that Jets game, that was crazy. Like to the end of that,
right? That was definitely
very invested in that. I had a huge parlay and I needed the Bengals to cover 3.5, and they were the only ones that didn't.
Well, it looks like Barstool Sportsbook at least gave you a nice sweatshirt as your consolation prize on that.
I know you're out in Ohio, but here in Pennsylvania, this is the way gambling should be done. Once it gets legal in your state, this thing is because they do these merch giveaway things all the time for different stuff. It's awesome.
We would not know in Ohio because we do not condone these types of acts or behavior, at least, and not even on the street level either. It's just frowned upon. We don't do those things. These are heinous acts. Those are heinous acts against Uncle Sam's tax dollars.
We're usually a stodgy old Commonwealth, but Uncle Sam got smart to the idea that he could tax these kind of things and get some revenue out of it.
Maybe he'll figure that out in Ohio at some point here, hopefully soon. I'd like to get me some really cool Barstool gear for losing my bets. So up next, we have the Broncos without Von Miller. In my opinion, that just tanked in the season. They're at the Cowboys. Dak's probably going to be back. But yeah, you got to go with Dallas on this one, right? I'm Dallas. Easy. I mean, they're even at home. So Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to pick the Cowboys in anything or say that they're good, but they're a legit team this year. Even with Cooper Rush, they played a hell of a game against. Well, Kirk Cousins can't get out of his own way, but they still held it down and won without Dak. Which hopefully, if Dak plays, even if he doesn't, the Broncos are a mess. And trading Von Miller away, like you said, I think they just sold this season out the river.
And this is like the craziest matchup. It's 1:00. You have a Central Standard Time team hosting a Mountain Time team. So Denver's going to be basically playing like at 11 o'clock in the morning on this one. I don't get that at all, but it is Jerry's world and we just live in it. I'm sure he controls every game of the schedule he's on. So next we have a game that's lackluster to say the least. Texans at the Dolphins. Texans suck. They're a bunch of suck asses. So I'm going to go with Tua and the Dolphins on this one, hands down. This is the game that Dolphins win by 30, and Tua has a chance to rack up some stats to make the case to be the starting quarterback going forward.
I mean, I can't disagree with any of that thing. How can the Texans be that bad for that long? Like, they get the draft picks, you have J.J. Watt, you got Deshaun Watson, you're good for a year, and then all of a sudden, what happened?
It all goes downhill quick. I mean, yeah, I tell you what happened. Jack Easterby sucks. He thinks he walks on water. He really thinks he's Jesus. That's the word on the street. So we got that one out of the way. So up next, we got Atlanta at the Saints. I'm going to go with the Saints with the 5-2 record at home against the Atlanta Falcons. And the Saints are just going to be carrying on. And even though Jameis is out, this is why they brought in two quarterbacks. Next up, Taysom Hill, I think at home. And I know the Falcons are playing better, but now Calvin Ridley stepped out because of personal issues. Fowler without Julio and Calvin Ridley, two of their Matt Ryan's best options that came into the season, well, before they traded Julio. And so now he's just got Kyle Pitts and some other hodgepodge guys. It's not a good look on the road at New Orleans. I want to go with the Saints.
No, it's not a good look. And on the broadcast that I was watching over the weekend, when James went down, Drew Brees was one of the announcers on there. And they were like, "Is your phone ringing? Did you check your phone?" And he was like, "Nope, not going back." And I was thinking about it, though. For Drew Brees to go back, the Saints probably have one of the best defenses in the league. And they're just a Drew Brees away from being a super legit Super Bowl contender. Yes. So if I was him, I would strongly consider just coming out and playing half the season just to make a Super Bowl run because they're right there.
Surprised Deshaun Watson trade partner in the offseason. They're loaded up on defense and on salary cap. Give Houston some defensive pieces and get Deshaun back.
Dude, no one's touching Deshaun until something gets settled or decided out of the
we're a long ways away from it. We got to take hot takes along the way here. It's documented, and if it happens, I'm clipping it. Just know that. So you're going with the Saints or the Falcons?
This is one of those divisional games where, everyone in suicide takes the Saints, and then all of a sudden the Falcons beat them, and you're like, what the hell? And it takes out 50 people in a suicide pool, but I still can't take the Falcons.
Okay, so we're only different on one game so far. Hopefully that changes.
The other thing that makes me nervous about this game is the Saints coming off of a huge game last week by beating they played the Patriots last week. Who did they play?
Oh, they beat the turd out of somebody. That was
it's Tampa Bay. They just beat Tampa Bay. They just beat Brady. So they just beat the GOAT this week. which
Without
makes me
Jameis. They're saying Jameis is done for the year. Maybe it's or they're saying serious, which normally this late in the season is not a good sign.
No, they did come out and say Corey ACL is out for the season.
All right. So your take, we're both on the Saints. So next we have the Raiders against the New York Giants at New York Giants, but it don't matter. It could be played on Mars. I'm taking the Raiders on this one all day. You can change my mind, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Giants would win. But if we're picking the pick, I mean, I gotta go with the logical choice here, and that's definitely not the Giants. That is the Raiders.
I feel like the Giants. I feel like this is like a little bit of like a trappy-ish game. It's not a true trap game for the Raiders, but I mean, you got the Giants playing right now Monday night, and there's no way off a short week. Like Daniel Jones is terrible, terrible.
Yeah,
and the Raiders are. I'm a little bitter. The Raiders are beating the Eagles 2 weeks ago, but I'm gonna have to take the Raiders.
Yes, they definitely gave me a leg up here on you. One of the games that decided our difference a couple weeks ago. So up next, we have the Patriots at the Panthers. Sam Darnold showed a little glimmer. I think there's still going to be a couple games this year he's going to put together. Will this be one of them against Bill Belichick? Probably not. I'm going to go with the Patriots.
Do you know how many games the Panthers? Oh, you switched. You being switched me there. I thought you were going with the Panthers for a second.
Nope. I'm going with the Patriots. Panthers until the Panthers turn it around, I'm not picking them.
Do you know how many games the Panthers have won without Christian McCaffrey? Just one, and it was the Falcons.
It was like the first week. I was to say he's been out for a while, and they're 4-4. They started out 3-0, but he was only with them for one of those.
Yeah, which it just shows you how huge he is. I think Mac Jones is the next Tom Brady. I think he's legit. He operates that system. You got Belichick.
Man, I'm so over that take, though.
He looks. I mean, you say next Brady because the Patriots and because he's in New England. He'll probably end up being like Drew Bledsoe. But he looks legit. He looks like the real deal in the Bill Belichick system. He looks like he's really starting to thrive there. I mean, they just shellacked the Chargers in their own home field. They almost beat the Cowboys, who only have one loss. You got to take the Patriots here.
Yeah, that's man, a lot, and it's probably not going to change with this. And we got Buffalo at Jacksonville. Buffalo didn't look all that great in the first half, so I think they got their bad one out of the way. They're going to take care of business against the Jags. I mean, I know we're not trying to agree here, but it's pretty difficult on the games like this.
There's no, I mean, Bill's all day. I mean, does Urban Meyer belong coaching in the NFL? I mean, that team is bad. Like they're bad. Geno Smith shredded them.
Let's take a look at the line on this one. It's opening up at 14 with Jacksonville being at home, so they think there's a 17-point difference between the two. I think that line is light.
14.
It's at Jacksonville. If this game's at Buffalo, it's probably like 20.
20, yeah. Right
it would be a big swing. It'd get 3, then get the 3 back for the home game, and then get 3 more. But yeah, so we're straight up. It's a no-brainer. But Barstool's not going to pay you a lot for that bet.
No, that one's not a feature bet. I can say that.
Yeah, and okay, so both on Buffalo. All right, this one here might be a little something to. I want to let you pick first on this one. We got the Vikings at Baltimore. Vikings playing on the East Coast, but it is a 1:00 game. So Minnesota's playing out of time zone.
Baltimore. Coming off of a blowout loss against the Bengals at home, which if you look at their home record, it's amazing. I think they've only lost like their winning percentage there is like 90% over the last like 20 years. And they're coming off of a bye week. And the Vikings and Kirk Cousins is she's a garbage can on fire.
You like that? You like that?
No, I don't like anything about it. You had one.
No, as a matter of fact, I don't, Kirk.
And he's got Justin Jefferson and feeling like he's got weapons. He's just like, I watched that game yesterday, and he throws in bad spots and then yells at like people like someone was in the wrong spot. It's like, no, Kirk, you just suck. You got to throw better.
I'm like this close to picking Minnesota because sometimes sometimes you get that gut feeling. In Baltimore, did they get called out when Cincinnati whooped them at Baltimore? Did it give out the blueprint to beat them this year? I am still not sold on Lamar Jackson. I'm not saying this because I'm a Browns fan. I'm a results at the end of the season fan, and
there's some homer in there.
there's definitely some homer in there, but I still don't. That doesn't mean I believe. Like if like Mahomes played for the Baltimore Ravens, I'd be like, man, we're screwed for a long time. I just think I'm just still not sold on him being a long-term thing. That's my take. That's my.
I mean, the running will slow down over time, but he can throw. He's accurate and he can put the ball in spots. He can stand back there and just launch passes, and he doesn't look to just run first off. He tries to stay and throw first, so
right.
He's not like a who sucks and just looks at his first read and then runs.
And then next up after this, after Baltimore hopefully loses to Minnesota, and we both take the L on that, and we're on to the 4:00 slate. There's 3 4:00 games.
So you're taking Baltimore there?
No, yeah, we're both on Baltimore. Common sense does prevail in that one. The Chargers at the Eagles. Mr. Eagles fan, who we got on this? Are you going to go Homer or are you going to go with common sense?
This game all comes down to Nick Sirianni and whether he can put together a fucking game plan that makes sense. The Chargers are 32 against the run. They're the worst team in the league against the run. Last week we smoked the Lions because Jalen threw the ball 14 times last week. I haven't seen that in 2 decades here. Like, as long as he can run the
Sonny Jurgensen.
Yeah, I don't care who's the Ron Jaworski was the last one back there throwing 15 times a game.
Oh my god!
I don't care if it's Boston Scott or Jordan back there. I don't care who it is. As long as we run the football, there's no way we don't win this game at home. I'm taking the Eagles all day. I'm hoping Nick Sirianni saw the light and is going to run the football.
I want to go with the Chargers.
I don't blame you. The other thing that I like about this,
like we got too many. At some point, we gotta disagree a little bit here, and it's a coin flip game. So I'll roll the dice. I'll either work on giving one back here, or I'm going to broaden the lead. I just think the Chargers have been underperforming, and the Eagles are just coming off a high note. And I think the Eagles are better than what people think. 3-5. We can probably agree. That exceeds probably a lot of people's expectations after the first 8 games. There are some fans saying we might go over. So I think that the Eagles are already exceeding expectations on the year, and I just think that they're very inconsistent. And I think the Chargers have on a little bit of a downturn, and this is the perfect game for Herbert to get back on track. So I will go with the Chargers. And
the local trade rumor was, because we're coming up on the trade deadline, is if we lost that Lions game, that Fletcher Cox was getting traded.
Yeah, his time's done. I mean, you guys, God.
You know what?
Didn't he play for Andy Reid?
Yeah, he did. Andy Reid drafted him.
That's all you need to know.
Andy Reid was a decent drafter. He always took offensive and defensive linemen, which is a fan just as infuriating, but we always had good lines with Andy Reid. But this is what I love about Belichick. Belichick is the guy that lets go of guys a year too early. You know what I mean? Like, he'll let them go. They'll go to the team, be good for one more year, and then they'll just suck after that. No one else does that. They just hang on to people forever, hoping to just squeeze the last little bit out of them.
Yep, that's the last little piece. So, all right. Well, moving on. This is going to be the game of the day. I can't believe this isn't like the 4:25 game, but it's the Packers at the Chiefs. Chiefs are playing Monday Night Football. They're playing on a short week. Aaron Rodgers played last Thursday. He's got a full 10-day rest for this game, but is at Arrowhead. Green Bay's coming with 7-1. Chiefs 3-4. I'm going Packers. I think they bury the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, how can you take the bet? The Chiefs defense is historically bad. It's like the Honey Badger and like a bunch of like scrub dudes that they just like, they're the replacements. That's what they are. It's like Honey Badger and the replacements. They're so bad. They can't stop anybody, let alone Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers went out and laid that stinker in the first game, and now he's just like proving that he's Aaron Rodgers.
Can we all start throwing around the controversy that might have been a message to everybody? Like, don't mess with me because I will tank this season.
I 100% think he did that. He went out there and was like, what? The Packers without Aaron Rodgers are this. The Packers with Aaron Rodgers are now 6-0.
Yes.
So,
I love it, man. He is becoming my favorite player of all time with his like handling of these.
He grew his hair out and he was John Wick for Halloween. Did you see the pictures?
No, I
on
missed
Instagram.
it.
They're pretty good. You look it up. He went as John Wick for Halloween. He looks great.
Yeah. He can do whatever the hell he wants and look good, man. Hey.
Yeah, Roger.
He could be in a bar fight and everyone can be like, man, look at his hair.
Yeah. Like headbutting people.
Could you imagine him at like a Slayer concert? Like, rah! Like
You see, Shaq is like DJing now. Like
his
he does
what?
like Shaq is DJing like at clubs and stuff. He's doing
Yes.
like
He'll just like pop up and just do a DJ session.
yeah, I saw him in like a mosh pit. And, like the kids in front, they're all like going nuts, and there's just Shaq, and he's just. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't want to be in a mosh pit with Shaq.
Yeah, just chesting people. So that's going to be the game. That's going to be a tough one to top. But the Cardinals and 49ers, the NFC West, Cardinals 7-1 at San Francisco, but it's the 425 game. It's going to be interesting. I'm just like waiting on the Cardinals to cool off, and it's just not happening. So, and I think the Niners are not terrible, but I'm going Zona. I mean, just until they prove me wrong, I'm not going against them. We are taking the most conservative approach this week ever. There's like no sexiness in these picks at all.
Oh, I'm about to get sexy because I'm taking the Niners.
Oh,
And in division games, there's always like a
love
like
it.
you said, the Cardinals are cooling off a little bit. I feel like the Packers defense is not that good. And they gave them, I mean, they're decent, but they gave them a pretty good blueprint on how to beat them. And yeah, I think this is one of those division games where like the Niners have no business winning, but they end up beating them and getting back to 500.
Sunday night football is going to be a wild one. We got the Titans at the Rams. At the Rams, that is added Von Miller.
And Derrick Henry's dead, so I will be taking the Rams all day. The Titans do not exist without Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is the entire offense for that team. Ryan Tannehill cannot sustain it on his own, and without Derrick Henry, they're poo-poo.
Rams obviously added Von Miller because they were hurting on defense as well, and Tannehill's better than expected. So I'm actually going to take Tennessee in this one, pulling off the upset on the road. And because I just think the Rams are just going to lose a couple more games this year, and this is a good one to lose, and they're going to go on a streak after. But I'm going to go with Tennessee. I had to go one. I think you gave me a little opening on Sunday night, so I'll return. I'm on Sunday 425 game. I'll return the favor, and then the game of games. Not really. This at the start of the year, they're probably like, this is going to be an awesome game. Now we have the Bears. We have the Bears at the Steelers. Succubus versus, I don't know. I still say Steelers suck. I hate them. I'm going Bears.
It's just such a homer hater. Dude, this is going to be a good game. And before you even said that, I was going to go with the Bears anyway. The Steelers came off an emotional win against the Browns last week. And the Bears look legit, and they should have won that game this past week. They had no business losing that, especially by the amount of double digits.
You know what's going to happen though this week that's going to go well for the Steelers, and that's Maggie's going to be back on the sideline. He was out with COVID protocols, so they did really well without Nagy, and it did not help his case for coming back next year.
They're going to bring him back, yeah.
So
Ben Roethlisberger, I mean, he just should retire. He's just done. He's roasted.
Right. So we're both taking the Bears. How many points you got in your tiebreaker?
That's the total score of the Monday night game.
Yep.
What does Vegas have it at? Vegas has got it at 40. Not a very high scoring affair.
Doesn't look like it.
I kind of like that. I'm going to go 38. I'm taking the under.
Man, I had 37 the last time. I'm going to go with 44. You went with 38. All right. So after I dominate you on the 3 games we have different the whole week, so this is, you know what? It's a long marathon. I like that we're taking it easy. Here at some point in time, if this spread gets a little wider, we're going to start seeing some more aggressive picks, and that's when things are going to book it. I'm winning.
Start getting crazy. It's when you're down and you're just like at the casino and you're like, I've lost 20 blackjack hands in a row, and they just start betting recklessly. That'll be us the last couple weeks of the season.
All right. Loser of this week. You ready? I want to put you on the spot here. Has to take a shot you tell me what liquor you got and your wife has. Hey, KP. And then you have to take that shot on camera And then if you beat me, you tell me what I'm going to take a shot of.
But it has to be something that's in your house.
Right. I have a bottle of 99 bananas up there, so your life's easy.
Done. Deal. I don't have anything that gross. I don't know what the grossest thing. I got probably some like shelf tequila that's been sitting there for like a decade. That's probably it.
Oh, remember the old prairie fires? Put a little Tabasco in there. Oh yeah. Hey, loser has to take a prairie fire shot. Room temperature tequila with hot sauce.
Oh gosh, it's nothing can be worse.
You feeling good?
Than 90-degree 99 bananas. Yeah, you're on.
All right, everybody, dudes and dudettes. Ryan, thank you so much for coming on here yet again on the Dude Sports Sessions NFL Pick'em. This time, week 9. We'll be back next week to see who won and see who's taking a disgusting ass shot of prairie fire.
Make sure you're back next week to watch Tony throw up on camera.
Can't wait to watch you get some Tabasco sauce all over that Barstool Sportsbook shirt. So everybody. On that note, Ryan, thank you so much, though, in all seriousness, and we'll talk to you next week. Best of luck.